Zorro is a dream from my childhood. When I was small, I watched Zorro's adventures on TV, I saw in his films, I devoured the books. Zorro's been a part of me for over 30 years, so this is like a dream come true.
When you're directing a series like this, the first thing you do is surround yourself with a strong team who are passionate about Zorro.
Quick tornado!
Zorro has lived through the centuries. Every generation has grown up with its own version of Zorro, reinterpreted within the spirit of its times.
We modernized Zorro while remaining faithful to his roots and brought him into the 21st century.
Senorita, forgive me for coming into your home without having been invited, but I do believe my friend the captain needs some advice in gallantry.
On guard!
For those who saw the films, our Zorro is still Zorro, and at the same time, he's not the same Zorro. The first thing we tried to do was to define what makes Zorro great and why we love him, and keep all of that, even though it sometimes presented some big problems in terms of writing and production. The fact that Zorro comes out at night, or at sundown or dawn, can be very complicated to write and make believable. So we drew up lists, and we said that Zorro means certain things, and we need to see these things in every episode.
In the traditional Zorro, we always saw Diego playing a part before turning into Zorro, so we kept that and tried to enrich it while remaining true to the tradition. But we really wanted to link action and comedy, and that's something important that people will discover in the series. I wanted to make a television series with the look and quality of a movie. So it was like a never-ending battle, because television budgets are not like movie budgets. So we used technology and talent from the movies, as well as sculptors and people from the world of fine arts. The series runs for 3 seasons. So now we're finishing the first season, and we wanted to make 26 mini feature films.
The initial technical constraints were the environments, as we wanted to create a semi-realistic environment with lots of details on close-ups and wide shots.
I looked for satellite maps of California to understand where the valleys, deserts, and forests were and how they all fit together. I had to treat 500 kilometers between Monterey, which was the big port at the time, and Los Angeles, which was the upstart new little town. I started with the original plans of the town, and I kept the church, which still exists, and which was one of the first buildings in Los Angeles. Around the church, I placed a square with the garrison next to it and the tavern opposite, and the whole town was built around this central square.
In terms of color codes, what was interesting was that we had to base them on reality, and at the same time, readapt a palette of colors that didn't look too dated or tacky. So the idea was that the range had to be fairly modern, with vibrant, bright colors.
I'd love to, but I am too exhausted from my travels.
We started with an essentially realistic design, but more constrained in the acting, and evolved it into something more cinematographic and American to add a cartoon dimension to the design, which automatically brought more acting and facial expressions.
No, please!
This one is for you, Sergeant.
We wanted to create a more relaxed, mocking, ironic Zorro, because Zorro doesn't hurt anyone. doesn't kill anyone. He ridicules his enemies. And we wanted to keep that dimension of him annoying the antagonists in the story. The sort of ease with which Zorro can zip around, making fun of his opponents, while doing incredible stunts and spectacular moves.
Tornado, ready?
Turn the cannons and fire at that massive man!
If I were you, I'd take cover!
Fire!
Bringing out Zorro's American Indian origins was also very appealing to us.
Go. They've got nothing against you.
We gave Diego, Zorro, and Inez an Indian grandmother, who was a village chief. It was very important to include this social diversity in the series, so that he's the defender of both the oppressed rancheros and the exploited Indians.
You realize, though, that Diego hasn't seen just how urgent this is. You know that this is just like him. He doesn't even seem to have noticed... Yes. At least you agree with me, Tornado. All right. You and I are going to get to work.
When the producer of the show, Pierre Sisman, came to me with the idea of doing a twin sister for Zorro, I leaped at it and said, I've been waiting all my life for somebody to make that suggestion. Let's do it.
Help! Help! It's that villain Zorro again!
Huh? Oh, wait. It's Inez de la Vega. She's up against Zorro. Faster, Ramirez, or that cat might hurt her.
You really went overboard this time.
She brings a different family relationship to the one he's always had with his father, which was very strong. Because she's the same age, because she's young, and because sometimes she sees life a bit like he does and sometimes not at all. Because there are brother and sister rivalries which are very interesting and fun to portray, and which let us say things about Zorro which I don't think anyone said before. We completely changed the character of Bernardo, who from the start has always been a servant. Pierre's instinct was spot on. He can't be a servant now. The world is different. So he's a childhood friend. They grew up together. We saw right away that this worked much better.
We created lots of characters. We created a duo, well, one which already existed, Sergeant Garcia and Corporal Gonzalez, who are always sniping at one another. We have duos of bad guys who are totally stupid. We have a governor of California who's scared of his own shadow. So it's clear that we might have pushed it to the limit with the comedy.
Justice and freedom for all. A dark night has arisen.
We worked on the characters according to their individual personalities, to try to really give them a theme or a specific style of music. The principal blend of instruments, which was sort of fun, was, say, the very classical violin with the electric guitar.
Don't you worry, Captain. I'll save the honor of this regiment.
Corporal, get down! I am your superior, and I will protect the honor of this regiment.
No need, Sergeant. I've got it!
I hope that we're going to do a great job. I know we're going to do a great job, at least in our part. We're going to do the best we can, and we really hope you enjoy it. So stay tuned.